This week, media outlets reported that Mr. Shazam himself, Zachary Levi, said that the Shazam movie that comes out in April 2019, could be DC's Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a very interesting comparison for him to make. As you know, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 are both Marvel films, and they're about a group of, I guess, space pirates, for lack of a better term, who have misadventures in space. And the tone of the movies is very fun, funny, but also it has a lot of heart, which is impressive given that it's a movie about a bunch of really hardcore people who are on the edges or fringes of society. I mean, these are tough cookies, right? And they turn them into a comedy, and a very, well, sort of a comedy too. Very successful and beloved by audiences. But the core of it is there's heart, there's a lot of emotion in them, and there's humor. That heart and humor is what Levi is referring to when he's making that comparison. He's saying that apparently Shazam is going to have heart and humor too, and that makes sense given what, you know, has been said about the movie from the director and other people involved in it, and what DC's aiming for with it. Shazam is the story of a little boy, Billy Batson, who's played by Asher Angel in the movie of Disney Channel history. He was on this show called Andy Mack. He says a magic word, Shazam, and he's hit by a bolt of lightning that transforms him into an instant adult superhero who's being referred to as Shazam in the movie. And if you have a story that's about a little boy who turns into a man but still has the mind and soul of a little boy, that does lend itself to an emotional and funny story. Let's look at his quote. Let's read Levi's exact quote. James Gunn, that's the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. James Gunn and the gang killed it. It brought so much heart and humor, and I think it was kind of this dark horse that took everyone by storm. I think Shazam kind of has the possibility to do that, because Shazam is not, for all intents and purposes, it's not Superman. It's not Batman. It's not Wonder Woman. If you look at most Justice League montages or Justice League posters, Shazam is not necessarily one of the characters you put on there, except he is in the Justice League. So if we do well enough, and then he trails off with an ellipses. He also, in a follow-up quote, references another movie from the 80s that was about a little boy who was turned into a man called Big that starred Tom Hanks. Shazam gets to be fun, jovial, because he's Billy Batson. He's 13. It's the movie Big, but with superpowers, which I'm beyond stoked about. Big was a movie about, like I said, a little boy who was turned instantly into a man. He had basically a man's body, but thought and acted like a little boy. And that's what they're going for with Shazam. And I know DC has been criticized in the past for having, you know, too dark of a tone in its movies, but I don't see how you could make this movie dark. I mean, the fact that they understand and they're going for a lighthearted, more upbeat, emotional tone is, I think, fantastic. And it's great given this source material. I don't think darkness or lightness is necessarily the answer. It's just you adopt the right tone for the right source material. And I feel that with Shazam, it seems like, at least from what everyone at Warner Brothers and DC is saying, they got it right for this movie, at least now. The director is David F. Sandberg, who directed Lights Out, a horror movie for Warner Brothers that was successful, but now he's directing this. And, you know, directors can be versatile, right? Just because the last movie he directed was horror doesn't mean he doesn't understand that this one needs to be, like, lighter and funnier and more emotional. Not that horror can't be emotional, but this one has to be emotional a different way, because the star of it's a little boy who turns into a man. I mean, it has all the ingredients there to reel in adults and little kids, families, and if you can get the families in there too, that's more money. And I think DC definitely needs to bring more money now, especially with what happened with Justice League. I loved Justice League, but it underperformed pretty bad, well, sort of badly at the box office. And so they need to have their next solo movies, their two next solo movies, Aquaman, December 2018, and Shazam, April 2019. You know, that's 1 and 2. They need those both to do well. And from everything that I'm hearing, it looks like Shazam at least is going to be good. And I think Aquaman will be too, because it's directed by James Wan, who's a very good director. And he knows what he's doing. And so I think with Aquaman and Shazam coming out, this could turn things around for DC in terms of the reputation, if both of these movies are good and make good money. Judged against how much they cost to make. Just keep those budgets down tight, make a fantastic movie, and you'll be fine. And from what I'm seeing here, it looks like Shazam could knock it out of the park. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to watch and make more videos about DC movies and TV shows, Please subscribe and like the videos and all that good stuff, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.